The more things change, the more they stay the same. Boundaries shift, new players step in.
The GTA 6 trailer is of course out and it's absolutely smashing records, already past 100 million views in the course of a day. Now that's probably more than that, it's probably still catching up from the back end's amount of views. Suffice to say that this trailer is absolutely dominating. And just on a quick little side note, for the most part, I rather enjoyed the trailer. It was more of a sizzle reel more than anything. There wasn't really a whole lot there that I had an issue with. I don't really think there's a whole lot there to actually expand upon it. It's a sizzle reel. They didn't really show us a whole lot in all honesty. I mean, graphically it looks absolutely insane. But ever since I've been a child all the way to my adult years now, there is one thing that has remained the same with every single Grand Theft Auto. Whenever there's a new one coming out, motherfuckers on both sides of the political spectrum seem to spurg out and then they fail to realize that they sound exactly the same as each other and are both calling for the same thing.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
In fact, it's actually kind of refreshing to see people having a meltdown over a Grand Theft Auto trailer. It feels like a sense of similarity and reminds me of what it was like to be a little bit younger. People always seem to freak out and cry whenever there's a new GTA game announced. Now, will this game end up being good? I have absolutely no idea. Is there cause for concern that this game's going to be a piece of hot garbage? Absolutely. To sit down and ignore the current state of Rockstar Games and the AAA gaming industry and the political spectrum as a whole that has infected every single piece of entertainment would be silly. So absolutely, of course, there's a possibility that this game could be a woke piece of garbage or just be a piece of garbage in general. I also think there's just as much chance that this game is actually just a decent Grand Theft Auto game, and who knows, maybe it will undoubtedly be considered the single greatest GTA game ever made. There's no way to know off this sizzle reel trailer that they put out. I mean, I don't personally have a problem with a playable female protagonist. It being like the Bonnie and Clyde thing where you're going to switch between the male and female character, I don't really have a problem with her, you know, as long as she's not up there on the screen lecturing us about feminist whack shit and all that type of stuff. And that may very well be the case, it may not be the case. Again, from the sizzle reel, no real way to know. I personally would have just preferred if it was just one character, the dude, and she's like the main B character, whatever. And while most of the world was enjoying the fact that the trailer is finally out after 10 years or so or whatever of GTA 5, of course, we have to have the people that freak out and cry about this game. Now, typically you have your soccer mums and Karens having a cry and a meltdown about this game, and that still is the case. But it being 2023, things have changed a little bit, but for the most part, it's still exactly the same. Right-wing SJWs are very real, and when it comes to things like anime and video games, they are just as cringed as those unhinged leftists that at least they claim to be hating without even realizing that they're more or less the same thing, that's particularly on these types of topics. And let's just jump into our first example here. We need to ban GTA 6. In a world of OnlyFans and rampant porn, this game is going to make young people's mental health much worse. Motherfucker, it's a video game. You want to know what makes people go crazy in video games? When they're a piece of stuttering shit, unfinished broken trash fires, and good old classic
stupid fucking lag.
And to sit down and cry because there's some booba in the game, I mean, I think for the most part, everyone was happy to see this woman that very clearly looks like a woman. I mean, who doesn't enjoy a nice pair of tits? Now, these are the same types of people that will sit down and look you in the eye and unironically tell you that video games do in fact cause violence and that anime is made by Satan himself.
Broly, look! Niggas be wildin'!
And of course, this being a long-standing tradition of these types of people, I mean, just look back with like bands like Led Zeppelin where people claimed it was music for the devil.
They say that Led Zeppelin sold their souls to Satan. Best band ever.
But one of the most prominent examples at the moment of the GTA 6 meltdown is none other than good old Andrew Tate himself. And my personal thoughts on Andrew Tate are mostly negative towards the dude. I believe that he caters to cucked out men with low testosterone and is just a con man grifting money out of their wallets, which they are more than happy to give him. Andrew Tate does not stand for the common man. He does not stand for strengthening struggling males in this world that we live in today, which is completely fucked, especially, and it does hate men, let's be clear on that. But he claims to be all about that type of stuff, but really he is just a con man. Does he say some shit that I agree with? Oh, absolutely! But for the most part, I would consider it some rather basic level 1 knowledge.
New GTA 6 is out. Have you ever played any GTA? This is a genuine question. I've never played any of them.
I believe that I played the first one. That's like a top-down, bird's-eye view kind of 2D game without any real graphic violence back when I was maybe 10 or 11 or 12, whenever it came out. I do recall that. But you know what? I'm going to speak about GTA 6 while you're on the topic, because now we're actually talking about something that's relatively important. Video games aren't necessarily evil.
No, they're not necessarily evil. They're not evil, full stop. It's that simple. Majority of people that play violent video games do not go out and commit violent acts against their fellow man. That does not happen. If that was the case, we'd all be running around ripping each other's heads off, screaming the word fatality.
But you know, I remember when video games, because I'm very old, I'm an old man. I remember you used to play a little man in a red hat trying to rescue a princess and teaming up with your brother. Now, if rescuing purity from evil while teaming up for your brother isn't a good theme of a video game, then I don't really know what is.
Well, that's certainly one way to interpret Donkey Kong. I don't think anyone's ever put that much thought into it. You're just a little man jumping over barrels, climbing up ladders to get to the princess in a never-ending quest.
I'm not a fan of anyone under the age of 18, 21 maybe, playing video games where the goal is to shoot police officers.
Anyone under the age of 18 and 21 maybe. Well, what is this game rated? Oh yeah, M for mature, MA for mature audiences, or depending on where you are, maybe even a little bit higher than that. Does that sound like a game that's made for kids? No. Will there be kids that are playing it? Absolutely. I mean, I can remember playing GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas when I was a child in school, and that was some of like the best memories, man, going into like recess and lunch and talking about those games. Did I ever go out and blow up a cop shop? No. Did most people do that? No. 99.9% of people that play video games do not do these types of things. It's an argument that has been going around for so long, since before I was born, and I dare say it will be around long after I'm dead, unfortunately.
I just don't think that's good for society. With all the amazing graphics and engines and whatever people put into these video games, I feel like you could create a better objective with the game, you know?
So I just want to make sure I get what Tristan Tate is saying here. A game called Grand Theft Auto, the words Grand Theft Auto, to steal a car needs a better objective than committing crimes in the game.
You're a fucking idiot. This needs to stop. Now.
Maybe you are the police officer. Maybe you are trying to stop
Sorry, carry on.
criminals.
Sorry.
A game where you play as a cop and you have to stop criminals. A pretty good RoboCop game dropped earlier this year. Do we want to talk about that one? And one of the most ironic things about this is the Tate brothers have blurred the line between reality and satire, that they could effectively have been a pretty good side characters in a Grand Theft Auto game. It's crazy to believe that we're now at a stage in life. It's almost done a 180 with the types of people who are complaining. But make no mistake, when it comes to Grand Theft Auto, this series has always caused meltdowns on both sides, and now more than ever, it's become blatantly more obvious. And I think the best thing that could happen for GTA 6 is these types of soy-based reactions. Yes, this is a soy-based reaction from the Tate brothers. And just because these types of people are having meltdowns does not guarantee that the game will be good. Like I said, I thought the trailer was fine for the most part. It was more of a sizzle reel more than anything else. We won't know a whole lot about the direction of the game until quite a few months from now, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Now the question, will I be getting this game? Well, considering so far this game is not announced for the PC, I cannot get it. I don't have a current gen console. But to sit here and cry and complain about a Grand Theft Auto trailer and how it's causing the end of civilization and it's corrupting the mind of the children, it's just refreshing to know that some things never change.
We are women, have no doubt. We are women, we are free. We are
Shut the fuck up! Thank you.